If you have an Excel spreadsheet with Power Query in it and you want to send it to colleagues and you need to make it super easy for them to change the source data file or the source folder, then I'm going to show you a tip using VBA for Excel, a little macro that you can basically incorporate into your files, and it'll be super simple for your colleagues to change where the data is coming from. Let me show you what I mean, and then I'll show you the code and show you how to implement it in your solutions.
I've already set this up so that this green table of data is being pulled in from this file using Power Query. I won't go into details about how I've done this. I'll put a link to an article that I wrote quite a while back about how you set this up. But essentially you make this a named cell. This cell is called file path. You then use Power Query to get that data in as a connection, and it's your file path. Then the query I wrote just to pull the simple table of data in called monthly data. Normally the source would have a long file path string coded in here, like C, semicolon, slash, etc., etc. But I've replaced it with this parameter file path, which is essentially this little piece of text here. So all well and good. If somebody changes manually and types over this and then right clicks here and says refresh, the data will update from the different source, which is brilliant. However, that can lead to typing mistakes and a few different issues with file paths and things like this. So my suggestion is this. When I double click on this yellow cell, it automatically brings up a little file selector. I can then choose February. This is now changed. I can go to this table, right click, refresh, and now I've pulled in the data from the February file. You could also do the similar thing with this being a folder path. Let's say you're consolidating data from a particular folder. So live data, double click on this. This brings up a folder dialog. I can go to test data instead, click OK, and now this would connect to test data and this would be linked to a Power Query. So let me just show you the code that's under the hood behind here. If I right click on this sheet and say view code, the VBA window pops up, and this is essentially the code. Now the first thing you need to do is change this box to before double click, so that it's the double click that actually triggers this routine to run. It then checks essentially what cell you are double clicking in. That's what the target is. So the code just says grab the target address and then check to see if the named cell file path address is the same, and if it is, call this little routine. Then cancel out of that, which is essentially gets your cursor out of the cell. Or if the cell address is the same as the folder path named cell, then go to the folder picker routine and then end. So that's the piece of code you would need to potentially copy and paste into your sheet version of VBA, into your sheet code. And then this is the little list of routines here. This is called the mod for module file folder picker. So here's the select folder routine. And again, all you would need to do is, I'll make a copy of this file available, is right click on this routine. You can simply export it and then import it into another project if you wanted to, or you could set up your own module just by going right click, insert module, call that module mod file folder picker, and then copy this and paste this code into that module. Because don't forget, this routine here is looking into a module called mod file folder picker, and it's looking for that routine. So if I just jump to that, we're in mod file folder picker, and then it jumps to that routine or that routine, depending on whether you've double clicked on the file or the folder. So the idea is back here, you can just double click. It triggers that routine because this cell is the same address as with the one we're checking for. Go to January, right click, refresh, everything updates nicely. If we double click on another cell, it's not the same cell address, so therefore we just carry on as normal.
What do you think? Is that useful? Do you think you'll be able to incorporate that? Do you think users will find that a better experience? Let me know. As I say, I'll attach a link for you to download this file so you can copy all that code. I hope you get on well with it. Let me know, give me some feedback, and thanks again for watching.